Wow! You fucking got him!
Come on, Frank Dukes. Come on.
Chun-Li! Chun-Li!
They hated him 10 minutes before when he murdered the guy. Now they're cheering for him.
I know, I was wondering about that. Like, why the fuck are they chanting him?
Oh, what a kick.
I really love that they bring back the human drivers from the TV show Agent Carter. James the Arce, that's his last name. He played the human Jarvis in Agent Carter. If you guys didn't see that first 2 seasons, that was really great. I really love that they canonicized that show. So that gives me heart. They confirmed that. Something else. Oh my god! Thank goodness I didn't read that.
Whatever it takes, baby.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. I really dug that we saw the Ant-Man helmet from the classic.
I really dug and dig watching Matthew laugh at you and like laugh at your facial expressions and shit like that and whatnot with our humor and all that and whatnot. Matthew loves it. I told you you're his favorite. He loves coming out here and seeing you. He always mentions you or whatever whatnot when says he's gonna come out of it or whatnot. He's like, I'm gonna come see Andres or Time Cop or whatever.
Time Cop. Oh my god.
Matthew's your buddy.
Well,
anyways, folks, guess what? MCU'S Bleeding Edge report up in that ass. About to bust off episode 2 of The Ones Who Live, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We fucking smashed episode 1. Episode 2 was a little bit not like quite at the same epic level as episode 1. But beyond that, as if that's not enough for y'all, we're going to do a back half segment covering some articles. One for one I've never even heard of, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. Pajiba.com. A surefire way the MCU can climb out of its funk, which we have no clue. Andres and I have no idea what we're even dealing with that shit, but we'll talk about it. And then basically from comicbookmovie.com that a lot of y'all are probably familiar with or have heard of, some information, new information, and kind of a layout of Captain America 4 that we're going to cover. So Andres, the pop culture guy, are you ready, sir? You are the special guest co-host of the MCU's Bleeding Edge report. Are you on duty?
Yes, let's do this. I like episode 2, so I got to tell people right there.
Okay, well, I wasn't done with my intro yet, but anyways, folks, I don't have my background, no posters or nothing like that and whatnot. I'm at the Taj again, right? You know, but outside of the States, I'm over in Jamaica on Rio Montego Bay, all inclusive, adults only, right? You feel me? A little shout out for you, Rio. Getting after it on vacation, but I'm still at work, getting after it, doing the MCU's Bleeding Edge, doing the Bleeding Edge report. So we love all of you out there. Thank you for all the support. We genuinely appreciate it. I hope you all enjoy our episode reviews of Brick and Michonne. The series looks really good so far. As Andres already mentioned, episode 2 was very solid. And I'm sure probably in our conversation and discussion, we will end up discussing Daryl Dixon and Dead City again and whatnot, just like we did last week, right? And The Walking Dead and all that. Jerusha was going to join us for the first time tonight. She'll be here next Monday. And she's a new guest that I found on Facebook that doesn't really have any content creation experience, but we just think might help out the team a little bit over here on some of our Rick and Michonne reviews. So, Andreas, sir, back to you.
Yes.
Episode 2, right? When you finished it, your initial thoughts overall of the whole scope of the episode when you sat down and relaxed and took a breath.
Yes. Well, I saw the episode like this beats today. I'm now have a job now, and so I fairly enjoyed the episode. I thought it was much better than the pilot. For obviously reasons, because I'm a huge fan of Michonne. I love her. She's one of my favorite characters in the Walking Dead universe. So I was very excited for her standalone episode, as you and I kind of discussed it last week about that the format they're going with is like they can present us these 2 episodes, the first 2 as like standalone episodes of our 2 main protagonists, right? And so I was excited for that, and especially the ending that we got last week. So I liked this episode. It was really great. It was definitely the most Walking Dead episode, and it delivered in such a big way, which I like. And Danielle Guerrilla, great actress, love her. this was her best performance of the character. She really nailed down her character. Like she just shows so many emotions and like badass at the same time. So yeah, it was one of my favorite episodes, so far in this series. So I'm very excited to see where, from now on, where we're gonna get for the show, and hopefully they stick the landing. So that's my answer right now. That's my feelings right now with this episode.
Okay, I'm with you on that. And yes, folks, it's true. I actually got a new job too. I'm going to be as an assistant coach, personally working with all of the young Avengers with their maturity of their their maturity and development of becoming an adult and whatnot and everything. Right? I'm going to support them. Those that are of age. Right? I'll support in certain ways. Other ones will have to just we'll have to work it out. But either way. Bottom line, my thoughts on episode 2 when I finished it were, this makes sense that this episode would be less like climatic as episode 1, right? Because episode 1, it wasn't just Rick. This series, although they're killing them quick, has great secondary characters so far, right? They do.
Yeah.
They have secondary characters. They're just killing them off left and right. Which is a little bit weird, but whatever. But they're good, and they're part of what It's not just Rick or Michonne, but my main thing really is, my main take was watching the bonus footage at the end of the episode where the director where Gimple was talking about like working with Andrew Lincoln and and Danny Guerrera, and how they sat down and wrote a year ago like all these episodes. Right? Like they staged these episodes, right? Like, they were like, the three of them were the ones that sat down in the room and whatnot, in the hotel room, and forged all this. And again, I think that's important to highlight because I really want to make sure that we cover that reality throughout every episode of the series. The fact that both of them, Rick and Michonne's actual real life actor and actress, were main producers of the series with Robert Kirkman. Right.
Well, and also created the show too with Scott Gilman as well.
Well, Gilman, yep. There you go. Which, what do you think, Andres? I give props to AMC. I give props to Kirkman, right? And all them and whatnot and everything, right? All the people who started The Walking Dead, for paying due respect to these actors and actresses and whatnot, right? And giving them this involvement in the series. If I remember correctly, during Daryl Dixon, wasn't he also a producer?
Yeah, executive producer.
That's right. Same thing with Dead City. Did you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Same thing with Dead City, right? The same deal, right? With all these spinoffs, didn't they have the actress that plays Maggie was one of the executive producers too?
Hold on.
Do you want to pull it up?
Yeah, because I don't think so for Dead City.
Pull up the Wikipedia. Pull up the Wikipedia.
Hold on. Let me do it. Keep talking. I will check right now.
Hello, dude. I really enjoyed your latest live stream. Your skills are impressive. What skills? That's why I followed you. Follow me? This is YouTube, bruh. Okay, on Twitch? All right. I will love to make friends and to be a longtime fan. If you wish, kindly chat me on Discord. My Discord username. I'm not on Discord, Lacaster5. Thanks for checking out the show and everything and whatnot, right? But if you want to talk to me or whatever, whatnot, through any of the social media platforms that the MCU's Bleeding Edge is on, right? We're on every social media platform, every major one, but Discord, basically. So just go on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Go on, X, whatever, right? Instagram, and just go message me right through there, and I'll talk to you there if you want, okay? And thank you for the support. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I just checked. Yes, so both actors were executive producers for Dead City, so that's very true. And then Daryl, I know it's she. Nora Reeds is also executive producer.
That seems to be something that they worked out with all these different characters and actors and actresses before they did these spinoffs. Was that they were going to have this sort of collaboration part where they were going to get reward them for their service, right?
Yeah, I mean, like if people doesn't know, it's like, for actors getting this executive producer is like more of like a bonus to their like paycheck, and then also like more
It
creative
can be a
control.
carrot. It can be a carrot too to get them to want to like remain in a role or take a
Yeah,
role.
exactly. That's what I was getting into, like more creative control of the character, which we've seen before, with some of the other bigger franchise, like Tom Hiddleston was an executive producer for Loki. So if you pay attention to the credits, it's like right there. Scarlett Johansson was
It's
executive
becoming
producer.
sort of a norm in Hollywood. It's not just superhero movies anymore, or whatever. Anything franchise like or whatever, whatnot. You see this sort of like deal where you're seeing more actors and actresses being rewarded over time. Some of them not even that long with these
Yeah.
positions and these opportunities.
Oh, I mean, no. I mean, people understand that's like been going on for a while, but just different ways. Like, remember, I don't want to get into it, but like,
Oh yeah, we reviewed tons of movies and whatnot here on the Bleeding Edge where people have been listed, actors and actresses have been listed in films as producers, but they weren't executive producers, and it was just done as a title, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and and some of it is true because they run actual companies. If you know your information, like, I mean, Brad Pitt runs a film company.
Oh yeah, some of them do go out individually on their own and whatnot and start their own projects and whatnot. But what I'm saying is you also know that there are situations where sometimes that producer title is just given to these people as a title.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean,
they don't really have an impact. They don't really have an impact on the writing or like the actual screenplay or
Yeah, it's a common thing in Hollywood. I mean, sometimes it's for cynical reasons, just to get paycheck. So it's very common.
Sometimes it's something that's written into a contract, right? Like it's a demand.
Oh yeah.
It's wanting to be put in as a producer in the credit, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But to stay on track with the episode, right? I loved how it started. I really did. I liked how, and again, I'm not trying to like brag or like that, whatnot, that I called it in terms of how they would start this episode, that it would be paralleled and they would show us Michonne's story, right?
Yes.
Again, a YouTuber, that one that I introduced you to, Mr. Movie or whatever, he mentioned it in one of the videos or whatever and whatnot that I watched. So I got it from him. I didn't think of it on my own. But coming off Rick and Michonne seeing each other at the end of episode 1, essentially we get a 6 years later scroll across the screen, right, from the bridge incident, right? And we get Michonne asking for help from this group, right? After she's basically saved the sister of the leader of the group. When their whole like deal, this group is that they leave everyone, they just leave people behind. Like if somebody falls back or whatever, whatnot, or gets grabbed by a walker, they're not going back. Like that's their creed. They go by that shit, which Michonne don't like all that much. So 6 years has passed since the bridge incident, right? That's how long has passed. And essentially we have this conversation where the leader of the group, I'll pull up her name in a minute, basically is trying to persuade her basically to join the group. Even though Michonne is telling her, like, just give me a horse. I want to go up north. I'm trying to find Rick.
Yeah.
She's trying to persuade her. Michonne's going to bounce. So she's finally like, fuck it, I'm leaving, horse or not. And then luckily Nat shows up, right?
Yes.
Because Michonne's already tired of this shit, and she don't like the whole leaving people behind crap. Because like, think about it. In The Walking Dead, they don't leave people behind, right? They don't do that. So, but that shows up. And that changes the whole game because that's all pissed off about the sister and like Adrian or whatever his name is and whatnot being killed, but they're alive and they're right there. Yeah. So he's automatically like down with Michonne. He's like, oh, we'll give you a fucking horse and everything and whatnot. Right? Yeah. And they do. They give her a horse. Right? Yep. They give her armor. And she finds out rudimentary, like basically that essentially Nat has some pyrotechnical background or whatever whatnot with explosives and like things like of that nature. Yeah, right? He's design engineer of some kind.
Yeah, he's like a pyrotechnic, as you usually call those people are.
Yeah,
they have those skills.
We see Michonne using a radio, right? Like we've seen in other parts of The Walking Dead to talk to her kids, right, in Alexandria. But we find out later, Nat tells her that she's getting close to a line now geographically, where it's going to be harder for her to get through to them, right?
Yeah.
She agrees to stay for a night, as they've asked her to. They tell her that they've got something to show her or whatever. Give her her horse and armor, and they cut her loose. That gives her a journal to write in, right? And they warn her not to go north because they tell her there's a herd up there, right? There's a massive herd. And she heads out that way, kind of still playing with the radio, trying to get a hold of her kids. And I'll end it right there. So your thoughts on that part, Andres, of the episode? What did you think before we get into the herd, right?
Yeah, her.
What did you think of the little bit of flashback stuff we got? What did you think of the group, right? The conversation between them and whatnot, everything where what's her name was trying to persuade Michonne to join the group, basically, right? So she saw her as an asset. What are your thoughts?
Typical. I mean, first of all, Lively was very thrilling. I mean, Running Back was great to see Michonne again. I'm not gonna talk about the flashback. I mean, these timelines are so confusing. I mean, it's kind of like all over the place for me to just understand how many years has been passed. So, but overall, it was good to get a flashback of her, talking to the daughter, right, Judith, and and see her going to the journey to find Rick, which was nice, and then jumping into the bridge, Rick seeing these people from the herd, it was really great, and it's a great character revolution for Michonne. Michonne was very a lone wolf type of character, before she met Rick and
before Rick slung that D up on her.
Yeah. Yes, of all things, I'm very surprised she gets hooked up with Rick, and I mean, of course, she befriends this other character we're not gonna name, but because she's just the worst. But anyway, she comes a long way, and the fact that she cares about people now is kind of shocking.
Don't badmouth Andrea.
Oh yes, look, I just hope
you can say whatever you want about Andrea, but she was not a bad character. She didn't detract from the show. She didn't make it worse. You can say that she didn't have any impact, or she wasn't great as a character, or whatever, or the actress isn't good, but they didn't take anything. No. She didn't take anything away from the show.
Yeah, there were other problems with the show, but she was not a good character.
And her dynamic with Michonne made sense.
Yeah, I think when she was with Michonne, it was better. My thing with her.
So you should give her character credit. That's how they brought Michonne in, was through her.
Yeah, but I mean, she was better without her. But that's my thing. But anyway, if we ever go do a recap on season 3?
I can't even remember. Were they romantically involved at all, or were they just friends?
No, they were friends. Because
okay,
remember,
I can't. That's how long it's been.
Yeah, well, because everyone wants to have a deep recap. So. Season 2, Farm got raided.
I remember now. They were both straight. Yeah, they were straight.
Yeah, because the walkers attacked the farm because of the helicopter. Because of
and then when Andrea walked away from, ended up bolting from the group when they all splintered, she found Michonne, or Michonne found her.
Michonne find her with her holding the 2 walkers.
Yeah,
which I love that she still does that, which is great. It's such.
But we learned with Michonne right from jump that with her character that as hardcore as she really looked to this day and really looked when she first came out with the walkers and the katana, at the same time she does have emotions and whatnot. There's layers to her character.
Yes, yeah, which I really like. I remember this so vividly because it was so dark.
She was such a wild card when she came into The Walking Dead. She was a wild card.
Yeah, and I like how she's not she's one of the best kind of heartwarming kind of person that cares about these people, and she doesn't want to lose so many people. She's really. I
can't believe she's played the character for this long.
I mean, since
season 3.
Yeah, season 3, 2011 or 2012. Like it's been
The
that
season with the governor, yeah,
yeah,
the
with the
prison.
governor. Yeah. So it's great. And going back to the episode here, it's great to see that, that she's like a
That's
strong.
crazy. I didn't think about that this whole time. I watched 2 episodes of the show, and I forgot that she literally spent that much time with The Walking Dead.
I'm happy she survived.
Didn't she? But she walked away a little bit for like the last 2 seasons of the show, didn't she? I think
Yes.
the main show.
Yes. Remember, she left at season 10, so she missed 1 season. And so, and obviously, season 10, she was going to go after and find Rick, which we're here in this episode.
It only went 11 seasons. It felt like it was 15.
I know. It's just crazy when we have shows that ran long, but they had, I mean, like Supernatural.
No, but that it really doesn't. It kind of make you think. I never thought about it with the lens of watching this series yet, of the fact that she's put this much time into this character.
Yeah, and speaking of luck, Loki is lucky to have her because she's very big now. Because the Marvel connection, and
it's amazing. It's amazing that she flies under the radar the way she does. Like her name, you know what I mean? That it doesn't get bigger than it is, because she really, I mean, she killed it with this. She found 2 great roles, right? With Michonne and and Okoye, right?
Yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah.
It's great. And speaking of that, I'm shocked that they came back to to do this. But I mean, if you have Interlicken coming back, of course she would probably come back.
At one point, Marvel Studios wanted to when they were figuring out what they wanted to make Wakanda Disney Plus series and shit like that for years, right? At one point, one of the pitches was her.
Yes.
They were going to do a series with her as a Disney Plus series.
See,
remember that they were going to do the Dora Milaje one, right?
The Milaje one, and then
and they squashed that.
Yeah,
and now it's going to be an animated thing.
Yeah. Okay, like not sidetracking, Walking Dead, folks. I think they need to do Okoye spin-off, because like you have a great character and a great actress here, and she is a leading lady, and like.
But where Marvel Studios is at with trying to cut back and scale back on everything and whatnot, there's no room for that.
I know, but again, I just feel like they're just
plus they're trying to save money too now, right?
Oh yeah,
right. And I can't imagine she's cheap to hire at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can imagine her asking prices could be higher. But anyway,
that's where we're at. I'm not trying to get this all interconnects, and I'm just saying that's where we're at. You know that we're at a point where like literally the whole soft reboot is happening with Marvel Studios. We're there.
Yeah,
we're already there.
Yeah, but I think they can actually also this is my critique on the Marvel Studios is they should focus on characters that we like and care. Like
we agree on that. We've talked about that. And I was talking to Kyle from True Believers earlier, a friend of the Bleeding Edge, and he and I were both talking about how they've got to find balance right now, right? And I'll end this up right here. They got to find balance because, like, they still have to give us new characters, even if they do want to scale back with the productions, which I agree that with them doing, right? They've got to find a balance because there's still got to be space for new characters to be brought in and to be done in the proper way. But either way, going back to episode 2, right?
Yeah.
Coming off of Michonne, getting the armor, getting the horse and whatnot, heading north, right? She sees the herd, and it's cool. It is cool looking, right? It's pretty massive. It looks like an army, right?
Yeah.
Madre's like a herd army.
Yeah.
but they're like old dead, so they're very old, like dead, like walkers. So they're the ones that they're less mobile, right? Andres, like that, they're not as fast, right? They've spent a lot of time as dead.
Yeah, and you can see that they're decaying. So like they're very
they become decayed. They get stupider, right? Like you know what I'm saying, in terms of like anything will get their attention and shit like that and whatnot. But so basically, we see the cool gun, right? That makes for her that we saw in the trailer. She shoots the cool gun with the dart tipped little missile deal or whatever, explosive deal. She blows a bunch of walkers up and draws them to the fire, right? Unfortunately though, one of them comes out all on fire and shit and everything, like a la episode 1, with gas
Yeah.
tanks in his hand and shit, or like strapped to him and shit. He explodes. The explosion knocks her off the horse.
Yeah.
So she's like facing the herd. Luckily, the group that she found decided that like they're done with the whole just leaving people behind shit. So they're gonna help Michonne now. So they they set off 2 purple explosives left right side of the herd. They all divide and split. And it's like they split the ocean, wide open and whatnot, and create a lane right through. Which is a little too easy.
Well, I mean, first, I mean, it was kind of like very convenient that they followed her without any making noises.
I know. Since when do the walkers just whatever immediately when there's fire, explosives and shit, whatnot, they just go right to it?
Yeah.
Has that always been the deal?
Yes, like a couple of times. Like, there's ways to like actually distract these walkers. Like, if you cover yourself with blood, they don't know you're alive.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then there were a couple of times like Carol. Remember, Carol in season 5, she did like an explosion and then like got some of the walkers away, and like some area of those like cannibalistic group in season 5.
It's unfortunate I can't remember because I remember back in The Walking Dead they explained more detail, right? What it was exactly with explosions and fire and shit like that and whatnot. I know sound was a part of it. They're attracted to loud sounds.
Yeah,
right.
That part I know. Fire is usually it's easy for them to like get down quickly to be burned right away if you have a lot of fire.
Oh,
power.
you know what? Remember, they do like to go right to fire too. Remember, in like in the battle of the state of Alexandria, they set the lake on fire.
Oh yes, I do remember that. Yeah. So yeah, they do like fire, and
that was a hardcore battle, bro. That whole episode was one big battle.
Hey, they were great. Oh, and they were Diskin, right? Like, what was it? Some of the
he was the one. It was him and Rick that lit the lake on fire.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember, Daryl showed up. He was like gone from the battle, and then he showed up and whatnot, everything, right?
Yep. Yeah. I remember that. That is so true. Yeah. So the walkers do like some bizarre reason are attracted with fire. Yeah. So it's not like out of the realm.
Similar to the White Walkers in the Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
They walk right into fire or to fire whenever they see fire too. Yeah, the actual dead.
Okay.
Not the White Walkers. Not the actual
frozen creatures.
Not the frozen creatures one. No, but the ones they kill and bring back to life and whatnot and everything. They just go right. Yeah, when they see fire, they walk right into it.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of curious about that in the Game of Thrones universe. Like, those the White Walkers were dead people, or like they were like
they're different than walkers in The Walking Dead because they don't want to. They just kill other people. They're not trying to bite anybody or spread any infection or anything like that. Whatnot, right? They're just trying to like kill you.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so but first off, I like how Nate. Like, first off, we need to talk about the suit that she gets, the new gear she has to protect herself. Really cool. I like how she got it from them. That was really nice. And I dig it. She's great in that gear. And you were talking about the secondary characters. I really like the secondary characters here. With Nate and then the 2 couples, which was great. I thought they were really amazing. When we get into the part that was so tragic, I was like, oh my god, why? Like, it was typical Walking Dead, but in such a good way. But we'll get into that. But anyway,
the secondary characters in this episode from the group that were only alive for like 20 minutes or whatever were still better than all the ones in the Dead City completely in the whole series.
Yes, I know. It was so funny when we got into the the mall. So, when they got to that part, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kill them, and they did. And then Nate, I don't want to jump, forward, but like,
I think it's Nat. It's not Nate. It's Nat. Is it?
Nat?
Is it Nat?
It's N-A-T.
N-A-T. Nat. Yes, Nat.
Oh, okay. Nat. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No. So basically, right, coming off them parting, the walkers, right, and her buddy's helping her out. Nat, we find out that more information about Nat having explosive, and Tyro Picnetic or whatever, not skills. He's got all kinds of shit and like explosives and shit in his weapons, all kinds of gear in his wagon, all kinds of gear. Then all of a sudden they get attacked after some conversation and whatnot. The sister, I think it was, reveals she's pregnant.
Yes.
Was it the sister?
Yeah.
They get attacked by the CRM, by the gas they have, right?
Yeah.
That we talked about last episode review. While they're sitting and talking, they get gassed, right? And I couldn't remember what it was. They don't know what it is, right? But nobody can see. They can't breathe. Oh, I'm gonna explain it.
Okay.
They can't see. They don't know what's going on. There's walkers all of a sudden out everywhere and whatnot, everything, right? Everyone's getting attacked by walkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nat and Michonne are like dying. They find like the shopping center, whatever, and whatnot, right?
Yep.
And get in and catch a breath. Then they go out. They try to bring in all the other survivors who are all basically been too exposed by the gas now. So they're even sicker than Nat and Michonne, right?
Yeah.
Michonne and Nat are still extremely sick after bringing them in. They can barely breathe. And of course, she ends up having to kill. Was it the sister or the leader first? Was it the pregnant sister that turned when she died in the bed?
Yeah, that's the one, because her other sister didn't came with them. So she went with the other group. So, yeah, that's what happened. Remember, because they split off, like the committee split up.
They did, yeah, because it was a big group.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is the sister that was pregnant, which is very sad. Like
that's why Michonne was really emotional about killing her.
Yeah, well, remember, in the previous seasons, if you don't know about Michonne, there was a confirmation that she had like a baby before, and that maybe the baby didn't survive, probably because the baby was a walker, maybe, or affected, and so or like in general, maybe her family died in the walk.
I don't remember that. I don't remember her having a walker baby.
Well, no, it was never confirmed. Like, I mean, first, it's gonna be like Dawn of the Dead, baby. If you go,
Oh fuck! Since when did Michonne have a fucking zombie baby in The Walking Dead?
Hey, have you seen the remake Dawn of the Dead? Like,
what the hell does that have to do with it?
Because there's a zombie baby. There's been a zombie baby.
I saw the zombie baby in that movie.
Oh my god! So no. I'm sorry, but we didn't see a zombie baby, but it been. Like how you say, it was alluded to in the flashback that her baby didn't make it before the outbreak. So this just saying. So that's why it was more personal for Michonne to do it, and then of course the husband getting infected, which was kind of sad. I was worried about let me correct me, Nat, right? Nat, that's the name.
Yeah, because they looked really bad. They did look really sick. Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to say the gas, or you want to do it?
It's chlorine gas.
Yeah,
that's
chlorine
what it
gas.
Is.
Yeah, so apparently I was looking at
with some kind of dye.
Yeah, it was very bad. It can affect you lungs, so that's why
their lungs and their throat were burned. Yes.
Yeah,
and it literally took months for them to recuperate. Did you realize that was months?
Yeah, I was checking the information in my notes, and it said it was a year. A year they had to recover it.
Really? It said months in the Vulture article I read.
Yeah. Well, in the episode they say 5 months later.
It just said months in the article. Yeah. It said it took them months for them to they show them trying to regain their strength. Michonne's trying to do push-ups and shit. Everyone else dies. It's just them living in the shopping center.
Yeah.
Right. It's pretty boring, actually, that part of the episode. But they do survive, right? They do survive. And they move on from there, right? And they decide that Nat's going to go to Alexandria while Michonne's going to press on north, right? So whatever the fuck that place is called that she thinks Rick's at, because of that shit she found, or whatnot, and everything, right? Back in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So, essentially, that's what Nat tells her what the message on the phone means in Japanese. We get a really emotional Michonne, right? Like from the trailer. Nat hugs her, right? Your thoughts on that part of the episode?
Oh, I mean, that was really great. I mean, first off, I mean, Nat say earlier that the more forward that Michelle was going to Rick, she was going to lose more signal to the walkie-talkie, so she was going to be unable to talk to them. If she was going forward from was it Atlanta, where our main characters are right from that community, and so to that point, I think that was very emotional that she's unable to talk to her kids, because it's like she's dealing with a lot of crap right now in this episode. And and finding Rick's boots and phone, it was a big deal. So there were some clues to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a reality where there is no Facebook or internet or whatever, whatnot, everything, right? So, like, when you walk away and leave people like your kids or your family or friends, whatever, whatnot, there is no way to have contact with them, really.
No, and it's a risk. I mean, because you don't know that Rick survived. Oh, I mean, she doesn't know that Rick survived, so it's a risk. So, but yeah, it was a great scene. What's funny? I had to rewind it because I thought that maybe Nat, Michonne asked Nat to maybe destroy it. Maybe that's why she cried. But then when I rewind it, I was like, oh no, he didn't destroy it. She just started to cry, and I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Because her strength was faltering.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
to continue to fight, to pursue fighting Rick, right?
Yeah,
and that was trying to reassure her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because even the strongest, people still break at some point here and there.
Yeah, which they do, and we see that a lot. I mean, we saw that with Rick last episode. That he.
I mean, she's alone again, right? She was alone for a long time and whatnot, and then she had a family, and and then she had Rick, right? Rick. Now she has 2 kids, basically, right? Because hey, when you're a stepmom or a stepdad or whatnot in the Walking Dead universe, you basically are the dad of the mom. It doesn't matter. Blood doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's very true, and I think that she, that was Dana Garia's best performance. Her crying. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Viola Davis, who plays Amanda Waller. When she cries, it's so Oscar level, and this was like Oscar level of just.
Do you know? I just rewatched Oppenheimer on the plane down to Jamaica, and I didn't ever realize the first time I watched it that his wife, right? Not what's her name, Yelena Belova, but his wife in the movie is that what's her name, Victor, actress, whatever, whatnot.
Emily Blunt.
Is that who that was? Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, she was great in that movie, man.
Well, anyway,
I didn't realize that was her.
Oh, really?
They aged her a little bit.
Oh, I mean, they do some makeup to make her older.
Yeah, they did. They made her look a little bit. They made her look a little thicker too.
Yeah, I mean, and she's using American accent. I mean, because Emily Blunt is British.
No, I didn't realize that was Emily Blunt.
Yeah, great actress. I'm happy that she was nominated. Next Sunday is the Oscars. So
did she get nominated for Oppenheimer?
Yep, Best Supporting Actress. Yeah, and this is her first nomination.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, and same thing with Robert Downey Jr. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
I figured that.
And same thing with the main actor, Cillian Murphy, for Best Actor. Oppenheimer is a great film. She's there. She plays. Everyone knows she plays Oppenheimer's wife in the film.
She's a very pivotal character. She really is. And I wanted to see Oppenheimer in theaters again when it came back in theaters there for a while, but I didn't see it. I'm gonna have to scalp Dune 2 because I was too tired to go see it on Saturday night for our review on Friday. But so as far as the episode goes, I can't believe all that time passes, right? With Nat and Michonne while they're at that shopping center. I didn't realize that until I read that article that it was months in there. That's crazy. They must have been bored.
I mean, you're in the apocalypse. You have time, so they make time. So they had a lot of things to do in that mall. So
could you imagine having to jerk off and never be able to have lotion anymore? Right? You have to spit in your hand or whatever, whatnot, or find mud or some shit or whatever. Or
first off,
right? You think Nat wasn't jerking over there for that whole year?
I mean, yeah, but at least he has like what do you call it? Like
What do
a
you use some gun?
supply.
Was he using gunpowder
Oh my god!
as lubricant? Uh-oh, folks, we lost Andre's pop culture guy. He has blended into the green screen again.
Oh
He's
my
not time.
God.
He's either time slipping or blended into it completely.
No, I was time slipping. Anyway, I mean, first they were on mall. They have a lot of supply, so I think they were.
You're right. There could have been lotion in there. You're right.
Yeah, they so they were fine. You know, typical zombie 101. Go to the malls. That's where you got a lot of supplies. Anyway, that was funny. I don't want to talk about the timeline. I mean, yeah, it was been a lot of time that they were in the mall, which was crazy. But it makes sense the fact that they have to recover for the like gas thing. By the way, that was very gruesome. That the CRM dropped the nerve gas, if you want to call it, right?
That's what they do.
Yeah, and you saw the effects that can also turn them into walkers, because like one shot you saw like this one guy, like his face was melting and he became a walker that quickly.
Didn't they explain that in the episode 1 in some way that the gas has that effect? It makes people into walkers quicker.
Did they? I
Did
didn't.
they? Was that something we read, or was that in one of the videos we watched?
I think so. I haven't.
We can't remember. We've researched for this and everything and whatnot, and like it's all becoming a jumble now. We've either read stuff or whatever, or seen it in some YouTubers like videos. I think it was him. It was that YouTuber that explained what the gas is.
Okay, because I didn't.
Mr. Movie or whatever, whatnot, everything. Did you watch any of the stuff I sent you?
Not yet.
No,
I
I brought it up. I think during episode 1 review.
Okay, that makes sense, because I think I remember you saying that last week.
It was mentioned in episode 1 in some way. The gas.
Yeah, I think it was either Wick saying that in his narration, right? Because he explained what was going on with the CRM. Like
at some point in the episode, he talks about it.
Yeah, I think that it was mentioned, and it was very quick that he brought that up. So, you know,
but that's what they basically do. The CRM goes around and does that to random groups of people and whatnot that they see.
Yeah, and it was really brutal. That was one of the most like frightening things, like seeing people, like all of them dying, and seeing the two, the Nat's two other friends being affected. It was kind of ridiculous, and it's kind of sad.
It was kind of Walking Dead-ish because like the strong ones were the ones that survived, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing about The Walking Dead. The strong survived.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. But yeah, so
that's why when Michonne meets Rick later on in the episode, he's so adamant that she has to not ever let the CRM know who she really is.
Yeah,
because they don't like the strong.
Yeah, it's like Apocalypse. If you're in the X-Men universe, like Apocalypse just wants the strong over the weak.
The CRM's fucking weird, man. They have some weird tactics. They just bomb people and shit and whatnot with gas randomly. Like, if you are actually some badass like Michonne or Rick or whatever, whatnot, that actually is like hardcore and like kills walkers fucking in their like with their eyes closed and shit and whatnot, you're a danger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not an asset, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, CRM is such a like a fascist kind of government, like that wants to like impose this like very aggressive, hold on humanity.
It only makes common sense that if something like the apocalypse, a human outbreak of like some kind of virus, The Last of Us, a Walking Dead kind of scenario happened, whatever government that would come out of it would be like fascist, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that, or militant or something like that and whatnot. There'd be think about it, Andreas. Doesn't that make logical sense that it would be that way?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's cool that they're diving into that because that's something that happens a lot in the zombie films.
It's almost natural. It's like human nature to like kind of go in that direction.
Oh yeah, I mean, we always see zombie films of conflicts between people that wants to be the leader and like they want the control of the situation. All that. I mean, like 28 Days Later. I mean, not to jump to other movies, but like that you saw the military trying to rebuild humanity by forcing the two other female characters to like repopulate the you know the humanity people, and that was like very dark, and like these people will do anything to like repopulate the humans back after the apocalypse.
Well, it's smart. The CRM, I mean, the CRM's not stupid. But they've learned a lot. They've experimented on walkers, right? They fought them and whatnot and all that shit. They've learned through that and whatnot that, like, let's be honest, at the end of the day, there still are walkers. There's still an infection, right? There's still, all this shit, right? So at that point, having people come in and telling them that you can't leave, it makes sense, right? Like, it makes sense. It does to me. But let's move on with the episode, right? So we go to a new title screen that says now, right?
Yeah.
And we have Michonne and Nat walking, right? They have like that. They have a cart, like Nat's cart, right?
Which is cool.
And Michonne's trying the radio again with no, success. Trying to, reach out to her children. Yep. They see one of the helicopters, right? And that's pissed off because they killed her. These helicopters killed his buddies. He doesn't know who they are, but so they have their cart. That's all strapped up. He's got a bunch of arrow missiles and shit, and whatnot on his back, and like Hawkeye and shit.
Yeah.
And they shoot down the chopper, but from their own like lens, from Nat and Michonne's like viewpoint, not from Rick's, like in episode 1, right? And we get to see the whole scene from like the episode 1 with Rick, with the soldiers that do survive from the chopper crash coming out.
Yep.
Right. Nat is shooting explosive at them and whatnot, taking 2 of them down, and then Michonne attacking the rest of them. And then her and Rick, see each other. Except this time they actually embrace.
Yep.
And it's very emotional. I didn't cry or anything. I'm sure you did, Andres. You little bitch. Anyways.
Language.
Oh, stop. I'm just messing with you.
Anyway. I'm messing with you. You don't understand the reference. I'm saying language.
I get it. I get it. I do. I get it.
From Age of Ultron, and then
I get it now.
Oh yeah.
I get it now. So we get to see. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, despite not liking Age of Ultron, there's funny moments that I do like, and that always cracked me out when the Avengers are like busting Captain America's balls about language.
I'm not even gonna. I don't even want to get into you not liking Age of Ultron.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I think Ultron's a good film.
I like Age of Ultron.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I told you multiple times. I think it's like one of the most underrated MCU films ever.
I think you said that one time in the show, but I never like.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind Age of Ultron. I think it's definitely like for me mid-tier film that is really good.
Any Avengers movie you made after the first one was not gonna be at the same level as that one.
No.
Right, it was gonna be a drop off, right? So for what it was what it was. So so we get Michonne and Rick, embracing and whatnot, and everything, and talking. And Rick tells Michonne immediately, right, that she has to lie. Right, They can't run. She wants to run. They can't run, right? Because the CRM are going to be there any minute, any second. They're already on the way, right? And they have to go back. And he's basically like explaining to her, "I love you, but we have to go back. You have to lie. Give me everything you have that could trace you to Alexandria," which she does. Right then, Nat gets shot and killed. Of course, Nat had to die by one of the soldiers that was still wounded. Rick goes and kills him, right? I think with the katana.
Yeah.
Or no, he gives the katana to Nat to finish himself off, doesn't he?
No. So Rick kills him with the katana, and then Michonne not bring the katana with her, he leaves the katana with Nat to confirm that he's the one that killed them.
Yeah, so because because basically he's already told her, you needed to say that like you're nobody.
Exactly.
Right? Like you're not strong. Like you're not Michonne. Right? He tells her that. And then at gunpoint he says, "I love you," and holds her at gunpoint. Right?
Yeah.
As basically the CRM does show up. He explains to her how she has to work. She understands, right? And then we see the scene as the CRM shows up with her showing that face from the trailer where she's like, I'm not sure what that expression is. I think it's like joyfulness that she's reunited with Rick at the end of the day.
I mean, her purpose was to find Rick, and she find him.
Yeah,
and not in the best situation, but hey, I find my lover.
So, what did you think of that whole segment right there and whatnot before we get into her, interrogation and interview with the CRM?
Okay. I want to bring this early. The MVP of this episode is Nat. Nat was a really great character. I felt in love with him. His story about his mom, and all that was really great character development. Like, he really had great chemistry with Michonne, and I was hoping he survived. And when he got shot in the chest, I was like, no, why did you did that? And my mom heard me. I was watching it.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked.
I was so shocked that they did.
But then I immediately was like, you know what? It makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, it makes sense. But what killed it for me was just the way Michonne, cried, and it was like, oh, come on, please.
He served his purpose for the episode.
Yeah, I guess so. But I want to give a shout out to him because I thought he was a great MVP who really had great talent. He had great chemistry with Michonne. I thought he was a great addition to this episode, and I was very sad. At least he went out with a bam.
Maybe he'll come back in the finale and bite Rick's dick off or something as a walker.
or I was thinking he has a brother he doesn't know, and he just comes out of nowhere and is played by the same actor.
Or maybe he'll be in Chucky, the second half of Chucky season 3.
Oh my god, yeah, and he's like a bounty hunter.
He'll be the kid that is with Chucky now. Who knows?
Oh my god.
Anyway, so we get Michonne, right, going through what I assume is the sort of initial process or the initial interrogation that they do with all people that the CRM brings in.
Yeah.
Their sort of standard initiation, right, where she lies her ass off, comes up with a new name, and ends it by basically saying when they say to her, "Are you okay with the fact that you're never going to leave? You have to stay here." She says to them what Rick put on the phone, right, to her. Rick finds her. They talk, they kiss, they talk, right? And then all of a sudden Jadis shows up. And we get a really great scene with Jadis and Rick talking, right? Where Jadis is like, look, we have our own individual deal here. We both know that that there's things that about our relationship and whatnot and everything that the CRM would not like, right? And you kind of I've done you a solid in the past, and look at this, what a shock, look at who decided to who found you. It was Michonne of all people found you, right? And they have this back and forth, not really back and forth, but it's her talking to him and basically saying to him, she found you. Jada says, she threatens him, right? And basically tells him, if you guys try to escape, right, I'm going to have to hunt down everybody in Alexandria and kill all of them, even though I like some of them and they're good people. And then she finally ends the episode with Rick. What the fuck are you doing right now? What are you doing? And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Andreas?
So overall, I mean, first, I was kind of surprised that we got her, which I try to remember. She wasn't in the trailers, right? Jade, this character
in one scene.
Okay, in one scene, right? And I wasn't thinking how major she's going to be.
And it wasn't in there. It was different. It was outside.
Yeah, it was outside, right? And I was shocked that we got her here, and it was a great cliffhanger. I was oh my god, yeah, I forgot about her. What's gonna happen now? Is she gonna make another deal with Rick to control Michonne? Because that last shot of Michonne holding
the lighter.
The lighter.
That's lighter. Yep.
Yeah, and then say danger is oh, she's gonna do something very Michonne maybe to take down the CRM.
Well, Michonne and Rick together are a pretty lethal combo.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, of course. Yeah, and yeah. I mean, when we saw, like, I thought it was the other general that we saw from a first episode. Like, he was looking at that footage, and then when we got the reveal of Jay, I was like, oh, of course she's here. And yeah. By the way, I love her. Like, I love how she said it's of the language. That was, it's kind of funny. I say language and she cursed. It's like,
Yeah.
part of my French is like, what the fuck you're doing, Rick? And that was such a great way to end the episode. And I just love that.
And she actually said fuck too.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't notice that this shows have been saying the F bomb now, which is great.
I didn't notice it that much.
Yeah, like,
Oh, Jaden said it.
yeah, like Daryl did it. You know, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Daryl Dixon did it, right? And then Dead City, they did say the F. Yeah, these shows are doing the F bombs.
I don't watch AMC enough, their other series anymore, whatever, whatnot, to know if they're doing that across the board or not.
I think they're becoming more like HBO. Like, I think they're being like
They've always been very adult orientated.
Yeah, they always been doing, you know, what HBO's been doing. It's just they don't do it like they
Not
don't,
at that level. Not at that level.
Yeah, that's good point. Like, good saying, Jeff. Like, not laying the level like HBO does. Like,
Nobody takes it to the level that HBO does.
No,
With the nudity and the male nudity and all that shit, whatnot, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this AMC, like, for me, is like the Timber HBO, but like they still do, you know, adult things. It's just like they don't.
Like FX. FX is like that too.
Yeah, but even FX, they do, like, they actually do push that a bit more, but not like they don't make a big deal of it like HBO does, you know. But no. I mean, like, it's good to hear that, because, you know, this universe is a very like adult, you know, dark series. You know, it's apocalypse, zombies, right? So it just makes sense, right? And it's good that they're allowing them, you know, to give some weight to it, you know. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, because I remember, like, I don't know if you've seen the Screen Crush, when he did episode 1 review of, you know, last week.
I didn't see it. No.
Okay, if you have a chance to see it, he brought up a scene where actually Rick did say a curse word back in the original series, but they had to re-edit it, you know, for broadcasting. It was weird. I was like, because the cursing that Rick did was so much better than the tame one. So it's just, yeah, it's good that they're allowing the actor saying the F-bomb. So,
well, before we do our ratings, why don't we drop one of the trailers?
Yeah.
Right. You know, that way we can kind of refresh ourselves with the, you know, with the trailer and see, you know, where episode 2 now fits into it. Right. And then we'll give our final thoughts and we'll do our ratings.
Let's do it. I can't believe it's already March.
I love that shot of her face.
Yeah. I love that we got that shot like so quickly for this episode, which is great. I was surprised we didn't see the helicopter like hitting that building. So I guess that's going to be later in the series.
I think that'll probably be in episode 5 or 6.
Yeah. Maybe.
It's going to take a minute for them to like figure out whatever they're going to do to try to break out from the CRM or whatever, whatnot, or take over or whatever the fuck they're going to do, right?
Yeah. Speaking of trailers, I did see like the preview for next episode, and I'm very curious about.
Was it the official AMC or was it like fan made?
No. It's official. So like since The Walking Dead, when I grew up watching it, they always show you a preview of what's next for the episode. You know,
Jarisha, that was going to join with us and whatnot, sent me a teaser trailer for episode 2, but it was a fan made one. So I looked for one from AMC and I couldn't find one.
The previews for the episodes, you know, the next ones for next week, they usually release it probably tomorrow or like or today, like after the episodes is aired.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to wait after the credits of the episode 2 is done, then they show you the next preview for the episode 3. I saw it and it's really good clips. It's showing Michonne like going around in CRM, you know, adjusting the life. And so you see her doing the like killing the walkers in that like brick wall that you saw Rick doing in episode 1. And then she interacts the lady, the lady that's going to be a leader besides with Rick to like overtaking. I'm very curious about their relationship and how that's going to be, those two interacting. because I think the other CRM soldier that wants to escape will figure out that she's the lover that Rick probably has talked about, or like kind of like a side mention. So yeah, I'm like excited for next week. I wish the Sunday again. I think so far this show is doing really great. I'm like very happy about this show. I mean, of course, I love these two characters, so I'm just happy they came back and we have another excellent show in our hands to talk about. Any more to say, Jeff?
Awkward silence, sir. Little awkward silence here and there. There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
My thoughts are pretty much that I'm excited for episode 3. Episode 2, I'm gonna rate not a 10 at all. I'm gonna give it a.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, because it was sort of a filler episode. I felt like filler-ish, building up for something that's coming in episode 3. I think into the finale. I think the series has a lot of potential, right? And there's definitely something here with the CRM and Rick and Michonne where I can see this going for 3 or 4 seasons if they wanted to go with that, right? If they want to go in that direction.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already talking about doing another season. So I'm going to give it a 7 because it just honestly, it's not as long as episode 1. It's shorter, right? And not that much really happens. Not that much impactful really happens. I mean, Rick and Michonne already met at the end of episode 1. It was good to see them embrace, but like, okay.
Yeah, that's true. I'll definitely agree with that. I'm
not saying it's a straight filler. I'm saying it's filler-ish.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. I think it's definitely filler episode, but much better than some of the like other filler episodes we've seen. With
yeah, there's certainly different levels of filler episodes.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. No. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, there wasn't much. There
was a drop off from episode 1 to 2.
Yeah, I will disagree that. I think there was some consistency. It didn't have like a lot of twisted turns like episode 1 had. Like of course you have Rick cutting off his hand. Him joining the CRM.
They threw a lot at us with episode 1. There was action, there was emotion,
emotion,
right?
Yeah,
like all this shit, right? They had everything going on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So my rating, it's tough. I will give it a 9.5 out of 10, just mainly because I like Michonne. I think that the scene, they all agree again, was really great. She really owns this episode. But the first episode was about Rick, this episode is about Michonne, and I really like that. And this really had a great secondary character that was actually used great in just one episode, which amazed me that they, this show actually did secondary characters right in one episode compared to Dead City, which is showing me that this show is gonna definitely beat Dead City for us in terms of looking at spin-offs. The action was great. I mean, we got that cool Masuka thing that we love hearing for the trailer. It was great. We heard it twice, which is great. Getting to see the perspective of Michonne meeting up Rick was really great, and see here a little bit of the CRM like facility was.
There could have been more action.
Yeah. That's my deduction. My points that maybe more action, and I don't know, more Walking Dead, like action.
Yeah. More killing zombies, right? Like we
didn't get that in this episode, which was so odd. Like you got the herds we saw, when she was riding the horse. Like it could have been honest, she ride the horse and killed them, left them.
That's what I was hoping was going to happen. That she was going to have to just fight the herd.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, she was protected by gear, but they didn't get that, so that was a shame. But 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's really a great strong episode. It's one of the strong filler episodes, I would say. Like at least it does certain things to like at least it pay off the flashback of her fighting the boot and the phone, right? Like that was good. They taking care of that.
Oh yeah. It has its strong points. I think that basically, I could be wrong. Let's see what happens in episode 3, right? And then we'll talk about it. I could be wrong, right? Just remind me if I am. But basically, I think that this episode is to set up the rest of the series.
Yeah,
Episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6.
No, I agree, and I think it looks very promising, which is good. So
I think they set it up for it to be a 2-episode deal, the first 2 episodes, to then head into the turn, right? To wrap up the first season into the finale.
which is good because you kind of saw that a little bit. I'm not saying much, like a little bit with Daryl Dixon, how they how they tease you about how he got to Paris. Like how did he get there, and using the flashbacks of him like roaming around and like getting to that like job of like catching the walkers and then getting into the bowl. Like I think they sort of did this here, but in 2 episodes where
I felt like it took them to get to like episode 4 of Daryl Dixon before they actually got to the point where they solidified that there was a reason for a season 2.
Yeah, exactly. And here I'm not saying like getting ready for the next season. I'm saying more like how to set up the main like arching arc of their series.
Let me reword that. I'm using that as a metric, as in like where the story caught in Daryl Dixon for me was episode 4 because they didn't have the flashback episodes. Remember, episode 3 was all flashbacks, right?
Oh yeah.
It was what's her name's backstory.
Episode
Was it 2 or 3? It was 3.
2, yeah. It was either episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was. See, that's how long it's been since Daryl Dixon. I forgot the main secondary character's name.
Let me check. It's
But there was, it's her backstory.
hold on. Her name is easy. Isabel.
Isabel, yeah. That's that whole episode is basically just Daryl Dixon is basically barely even in it.
Episode 2, it was like a flashback. I'm just checking my previous notes.
So it was episode 4 where Daryl Dixon really took off and like they solidified what was happening and everything and whatnot. Like you understood the story, right?
Okay.
That's my point. It
Okay.
was I only mentioned the season 2 part because I'm relating it to when the story became coherent to the point where you saw the direction of where things were going.
Yeah, that's okay. That makes sense. I'm curious where they're gonna like leave off and like where to continue in the next season.
I think episode 3 of Rick and Michonne will be the episode that will do the same thing. That will dictate to us what the course of the rest of the series will be, right?
Yeah.
What the point of it's going to be, what they're going to try to accomplish, whatever goal is going to be obtained, right? Whatever plan is put together between Jadis and Rick and Michonne and whoever the fuck else. Remember, what's her name is still around too from episode 1.
Yeah. But from Rick and Michonne show.
Rick's buddy.
Yeah. Her name is escaping me. Not Jay is Pearl. That was her name.
Pearl. Yeah, Pearl. She's still around.
Yeah.
We just didn't see her this episode.
No. I mean, we're gonna see her again.
She'll be episode 3.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if we probably only see Jadis again maybe once in the rest of the series. Twice if we're lucky.
Yeah. I hope they don't do what Dead City did. Like
she won't be in episode 3. How much you want to bet? She won't be in it.
Just
they won't start off with them finishing their conversation, right? Like that's not what's going to happen.
For me, they will just have a brief conversation for that scene, and then after that, we'll just like move on.
You know better than that. You know how The Walking Dead. You know they're not going to do that. That was the end of the conversation. Her saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" That was the end.
Really?
They're just going to start off clean in episode 3 and whatnot, and move on. Jadis won't even be in the episode.
I don't think she's going to be in the episode, but I just think we'll just have like a meaty scene of that conversation, and like what's the next deal with her and Rick.
I already saw online that she's only in 2 episodes in the series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where did he get that from?
I forget.
Oh.
Wikipedia or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
IMDb.
Well, I will say that's a good thing. I'm kind of happy with that because I don't want her to be like the main villain for the show.
What you see in the trailer is going to be when we see her again, when she's outside with that handgun.
Okay. I'm curious where we're going to have that scene.
That could be them trying to escape. Who knows?
Could be in 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever that happens. But yeah.
I mean, at some point, something's going to have to happen for them to get that helicopter and decide to shoot down whatever the fuck that is in that building, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious about that. Yeah,
The more episodes we watch, the more you're just like, with that helicopter, you're just like, fuck, what's that about? What is that about?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen here?
and another thing, like we haven't discussed in that trailer, we get that weird shot of the CRM coming to like that, like close up, right, with the mask. Like, is that going to be Rick or is that going to be someone?
That is Rick.
Okay, I'm thinking that could be another character we know.
If you look at the trailer and slow down a little bit and whatnot, in the trailer you can see with the silhouette of his face and the shadows, and that is Rick.
Okay, because I was going to.
The only point of that was for people to look in detail and see that was Rick in the CRM uniform with the helmet.
Okay.
That was the point.
Okay, I trust you because
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a weird way to do. Like, we know Rick is in that now. I don't. Well, this is before we saw the episode 1.
He was in his full uniform and whatnot when he grabbed Michonne.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know.
That's his standard uniform now that he's one of those elite motherfuckers in the military, right? Whatever he level he reached.
Yeah.
In episode 1.
What was it?
Through his years of fucking training or whatever, whatnot.
Yeah, for what, 6 years you were saying, or something like
Whatever,
that.
how long it was, yeah, he was like just training and shit and whatnot, and like learning military tactics and learning how to shoot, fly helicopters and shit.
Yeah, my bet it will be a sergeant or something like that. Because I think she said he's like pronoun as a sergeant or something like that.
Yeah, think about it. It takes time to learn a helicopter, learn how to fly a helicopter, right?
Yes.
And the way that they do their military, it's not like our military, right? It's more all over the place. So I doubt that they would have the ability and the time to be able to put into him just training him how to do it every day, right? It would be just here and there.
Yeah. No, it takes for like a couple years to do that.
Yeah.
Just handle that big, thing. And plus he has one hand to like operate that thing. Like he doesn't have another hand to like do the pull the switch and do that, right? So I'm surprised he's doing that. Like, I'm surprised they are allowing him to fly. The fact that he has one hand.
I don't know. I've never tried to fly a helicopter, so I don't know how necessary it is to have two hands.
That's true. I don't know, but I just find it weird that they're allowing him to fly with like one hand. But anyway, that's my thought.
He's fucking Rick Grimes, dude.
That's true. He is Rick Grimes.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend. So he knows what he's doing. So yeah. So
he's the guy you just give him the keys to the plane and shit and whatnot, whether he can fly or not. And you're like, here you go, Rick.
And he has a good poker face. So he knows how to get around. It's like I'm a good fighter. I'm a good pilot.
Rick can fight, man. Rick can fucking fight.
Yeah, he can fight. Yeah. He when you're not in his good side, he will like beat you up so bad.
I'm sure we're gonna see some of that. But
Oh, yeah.
all right, let's move on to our next segment and cover these articles so we can get the hell out of here, folks. I want to go enjoy my Ryu Montego Bay experience and enjoy the nightlife. So let me pull up our first one and check out this whole surefire way to climb out of the MC out of its funk. A surefire way the MCU can climb out of its funk by Brian Richards, Marvel Movies at Pajiba.com. Hats off to whoever came up with that title.
Yeah.
All right, let me peruse and whatnot, summarize this real quick. As kids would say, Marvel Studios is in a flop era. Granted, there have been some recent hits that have delighted both critics and audiences, such as, oh my God, Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Are you fucking kidding me? Shang-Chi's fine-ass daddy and those 10 braces looking good on his forearms. Oh my God. Shang-Chi, this is going to be a bad article, Andreas, I can already tell. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Spider-Man No Way Home. There have been the fact that they started off by saying that Wakanda Forever is a great film or something is a joke. There have been hit shows on Disney Plus like WandaVision and Loki. Go ahead.
I will say, if you just put Shang-Chi first, then Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I will legit say that this is a good arc.
Wakanda Forever is not a good movie.
Hey,
It's that simple.
I'm not gonna get into.
If that's racist, I don't care.
Hey,
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which was expected to introduce the next big bad who would make life hell for the heroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, made a lot of critics and the audiences just shrug in response. This was before Jonathan Majors made us start doing deep, heavy, Negro spiritual sighs at the very mention of his name. What? The Marvels and single female lawyer, She-Hulk attorney at law both received some positive reviews. Who? From who? But they were us. We did. We gave positive reviews. But they were overwhelmed by the tidal waves of hate and nitpicking from, this is one of these leftist type deals. By the tidal waves of hate and nitpicking from fuckboys and dudes like incels that live in their parents' basements types. Oh, I love this. Who couldn't stand that women were playing around in Marvel's sandbox, Andreas. God, I had to pick this one. Jesus Christ. Soon enough, more people started falling. Folks, I don't like this person. Soon enough, more people started falling out of love with the MCU. Yeah, it was because of that. That's why. It was because of us fuckboys. That's why. We can't handle women. And became more comfortable with calling it out for some of its more obvious flaws. Over-reliance on bathos, whatever the fuck that even means. Unimpressive.
Pathos.
That's bathos. That's not pathos, unless this person can't spell.
Hold on, let me see.
What the fuck is bathos?
Let me see.
The fuck? Unimpressive writing and directing. Visual effects that leave lots to be desired. Largely because of VA sexual workers, blah, blah, blah. Casting and production issues with upcoming films like Blade and Thunderbolts were still viewed as further proof of the MCU's downfall. And the release of the MCU Reign of Marvel Studios, co-authored by Pajiba alumnus Joanna Robinson, also did a very effective job of taking the bloom off that rose. I cannot wait to find out what these fuckers antidote is for the MCU. However, this past month has given Marvel fans hope that Kevin Feige is getting things back on track so that the MCU will regain its supremacy as a guaranteed money printing machine. Usher concert weekend saw the release of the long-anticipated trailer for Deadpool 3, which is now called Deadpool Wolverine. Valentine's Day not only gave us a teaser poster and a release date for Fantastic Four, but finally confirmed the rumors as to which actors will be playing the first family of Marvel, which was immediately followed by the trailer for the animated series X-Men 97. I don't even want to read the rest of it. I don't care about Jennifer Walters. Fuck her.
Yeah.
Time will tell whether these moves will work out in favor of the MCU and if these films will be the hits that will have everyone unanimously singing their praises again. But I strongly believe the MCU needs something that should be included more often in their movies and their television shows. Wait, don't tell me. More forced inclusivity and more women, right? Team-ups. Yes, we get the biggest team-up of all with Avengers Endgame. When every hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with the obvious exceptions of the Netflix characters, joins forces to battle Thanos and his army. But it's always fun and interesting to see different heroes cross paths with one another, when least expected, and to see how well they get along, or how much they don't, while seeing them work together to fight a common enemy. The best example of this, of course, is She-Hulk. Episode of She-Hulk. See, right there. Fuck this. You know what? Fuck this article. I'm done with this article. I'm not even reading the rest of it. I'm not reading it. What? Captain America and Black Panther? Shuri? What the fuck? What? Miss Marvel and Ironheart? Andreas?
I seen, yeah.
Where's my suicide pill? Give me the suicide pill, bro. Did I just see what I just saw? Did it just literally say Captain? They need to team up Captain Marvel and Ironheart to save the MCU?
No, Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch in that list.
No, it said Captain Marvel and Ironheart teamed up. It's right here. Miss Marvel, Ironheart.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What? How's Ironheart going to save the MCU?
I don't know.
And they already said that the Black Panther's not even going to be Shuri. They're going to recast. They're going to recast Chadwick. Now, or they're going to use his son as the Black Panther in Black Panther 3. So this person's delusional. Captain America and Black Panther Shuri together. Why? Because they're both black? Fuck you. Your thoughts, sir?
Very flawed article. I have no opinions on that. I mean, as people know, I don't talk about those cancel culture, whatever you want to call that. I mean,
yes, Andres is above the fray.
Yeah, it's bottom of the fray. I mean, first off, the team-ups are really bizarre. Like, I don't want a Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch team up. I think that's just awful.
You can't start off by trying to pretend She-Hulk was not bad, right? You can't do that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah, and then what was it? Like,
it's not going to sell. You can't start your article off with that. You cannot defend She-Hulk.
Yeah, I mean,
and then say that Daredevil being in the series was the definition of the teamwork necessary to bring back the MCU to life. What?
I don't know. Well, first off, I don't want a team up. Like that's not gonna help the MCU. Like for me, it's quality. Like I want these projects to be quality.
Quality team ups, not Miss Marvel and Ironheart.
Yeah. Well, I just want solo like projects that doesn't connect too much in the MCU. Like I don't need too much team ups. Like the
But you
reason-
know, but you know, the connective tissue is important. You know that.
yeah. I'm saying like I just want something that's in the vein of Iron Man for the first Iron Man movie. That's why I like Sean.
You want there to be main lead characters again.
Yeah.
That where movies can be made off them and whatnot and everything as benchmarks or like as of the MCU again, which we don't have right now.
Yeah. Like
We don't have those right now at all.
No,
we don't
no.
have Thor. We don't have a Thor. We don't have an Iron Man. We don't have a Captain America. That's your point.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is,
So we don't have those characters right now.
yeah,
Just
and-
Spider-Man, Tom Holland. That's it.
yeah. Well, that and for me, like the other Wakanda characters, like I'm not gonna say Black Panther, but just the other Wakanda characters, I can think you can use them as top characters you can use, like Okoye. But we're not getting into that. But or Scarlet Witch, like I mean, Scarlet.
What
Witch,
about Nova? What about Ghost Rider? What about the Silver Surfer?
those are good too. Fantastic.
Those are
Four.
characters we know we're going to get soon. They're going to come. It's only a matter of time. They're coming.
Yeah, and then what else?
We're getting a Ghost Rider, are we not?
Midnight Suns.
You know we're getting the Ghost Rider. There's no way they're not going to do it.
Yeah,
It's going to happen,
Suns.
right? We're
Yeah.
getting the Midnight Suns. We're going to get all that, so we know it's happening, right?
Yeah.
We know we're getting Nova. They've been wanting to do it for years. They're going to do it.
Yeah, at some point. I mean, let's not.
It's a matter of how they're going to do it, right? But they're going to do it.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. I know Marvel's gonna do it. But
They already were going to do a Disney Plus series with it, but they scrapped it.
Yeah, well, initially, you know that it was going to be a special presentation. At one point.
Then it was going to be a Disney Plus series, and they scrapped that. And now the
Yeah.
character's in limbo.
Yeah, well,
But just recently, in like the last week or two, whatnot, everything gets broke. That like they're back to Nova again.
yeah. Well, remember before the Disney Plus show, they were considering it to maybe change it into a special presentation. I don't know, you know that?
They were going to do that and the Silver Surfer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Silver
Remember?
Surfer. I don't think Silver Surfer was part of that conversation when I.
At one point, they were saying that the Silver Surfer would be done the same way through possibly a special presentation, just like Nova.
Intriguing. But yeah.
I think they should do Ghost Rider through a special presentation.
Yeah. Yeah. The one, like, I want them to bring back the actor that played Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I thought he was a great addition.
Not going to happen.
Oh, you don't think so?
Nah, because they're going to have Lilith in Blade from the original Midnight Suns, right? And the mother of all demons or whatever, whatnot, and all that shit. And that means that essentially it looks like their plans are to have Lilith end up being the main villain of the Midnight Suns, just like the original Midnight Suns in the comics. So that means that they're going to go with either Johnny Blaze, right, as Ghost Rider, or Danny Ketch, because the one you're talking about, the Luna,
Robbie
Reyes, he was never a part of those original Midnight Suns teams.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to bring up the game, but like they put him there, and like Johnny Blaze was there, so that's what I'm saying. Like I think they can do it.
They already made a decision on him already.
Yeah, then I'm not gonna be excited. I'm sorry.
You know that they were going to produce the show, a series or whatever with him.
Yeah, I
and
know.
They canceled it.
Yeah, before before the Disney Plus shows, right? Like they were going to do like a Supernatural one in Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they decided that they didn't want to do it. They changed their viewpoint on it based off their relationship with Hulu and the character.
Yeah. I mean, that was when they again restructured the Marvel TV.
They weren't ready yet to start doing the R-rated type stuff and whatnot and all that. I think was the biggest issue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The only thing they released was like the Helmstrom show, whatever they're called.
I know. I never even bothered with it.
But you know,
I never cared about Hellstrom in the comics.
Yeah, I haven't heard that character.
He was never an important character.
No, he was in like the only important is he was in Defenders. Last time I checked his info or something like that. But yeah,
He might be useful in the DC but in the universe, whatever, whatnot. But we don't need them in Marvel. We got enough sorcerers and magicians and shit.
and devils. I mean, whatever. So let me ask you something. I mean, they're heading in the right direction in terms of fixing the MCU. I mean, it's just like we'll see how next year is because Deadpool 3, despite it's important for the Mars deals, that's going to be very different.
Oh, well, next Monday I already told you, I have the official, as of right now, slate of where things are at with all the films and projects.
Yeah.
Right? Coming out for the next 2 years. I have it written down. So next Monday, I figured we would cover that.
Okay. All right. Well, then we can move on because Captain America: Brave New World. I heard rumors that they apparently are removing the Serpent Society.
That's in this article.
Yeah, that was the big news I heard this week about that.
This is comicbook.com, folks. Specifically, we're here for this article for the Captain America coverage in here. So let me skip down. This I'm not going to summarize. I'm just going to basically just read off some of the main points. According to a reliable insider, Daniel Rickman, who is one of the scoopers that you could mainly usually find on Twitter, the supervillain group known as the Serpent Society had been completely removed from the Captain America: Brave New World during what sounds like pretty extensive reshoots. This is the first time we've heard this. It's probably safe to assume these characters that were going to play a major role in the movie anyway, but removing an entire subplot so late in the game is certainly not a regular occurrence. It sounds like Brave New World's final battle, whatever it may entail, has also been altered significantly.
Yeah.
Rickman also is claiming that the Young Avengers project currently is in development will definitely be a movie, not a Disney Plus series or special presentation. And he's heard that Marvel is working on a brand new IP for a 2026 debut. But we don't have any further details. So let's see what else they have here.
The logo. And you see the right hand, which is like Red Hulk.
Yep.
So that is confirming that Red Hulk is going to be in this movie. If that makes sense.
I haven't seen the picture of Sam Wilson in the new Cap costume.
I did. I hate that they changed the costume because I like the one in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But
I did too.
And it's more like Captain America. Like they got rid of more of the white and make it more to like the red, blue, and less white.
Oh, like more dark, like Captain America: Winter Soldier.
No, more like Age of Ultron, a little bit like that, or Endgame type of.
But he still has his wings, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, of course, Joaquin Torres, Danny Ramirez, is the new Falcon, right? That's going to be in Captain America 4. He was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which feels like it came out forever ago.
Like 3 years.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So of course we're going to get Shira Haas as Israeli superheroine Sabra. Carl Lumbly will be back as Isaiah Bradley. Liv Tyler is going to come back in this film for some reason as Betty Ross.
Betty Ross, I know.
And Tim Blake Nelson as the leader, who we believe will probably be the villain of the film.
Yeah.
Specific plot details are still under wraps, but rumor has it the story was going to see Daniel Stearns revealed as the secret benefactor behind the Serpent Society. So, does this mean the leader will only have a small role in the sequel, pulling strings from the shadows? It's hard to say for sure, but Brave New World is shaking out to be a fairly jam-packed movie, so we couldn't rule it out. Yeah, and there's nothing you can hear at all about Red Hulk.
Yeah, so, okay. I mean, first off, I've been joking this. I mean, people have been joking this. It's more like a Hulk movie than a Captain America movie. And I'm just, like first off, like Thunderbolt Ross will... No, right? Like Thunderbolt was created the Thunderbolts, right? So it's weird that he's in this movie, but not in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, in the comics, he creates the Thunderbolts.
Okay, so, and I mean, like you saw that picture there with the hand holding the shield, like with the red. It's confirming it's Red Hulk. Like everyone knows that. It's not like a top secret thing.
Well, Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross is in the film, and they like from jump they've been saying the whole point of it is to have him play Red Hulk.
Probably the worst kept secret since the con thing from Star Trek Into Darkness.
Why would you even recast the character if you weren't going to do Red Hulk?
I know, and like, I mean, people like the Red Hulk, so why are
most people don't even know who Red Hulk is.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean,
I never read one single comic with Red Hulk in it in my life.
Yeah, it was a brief thing. I'm trying to remember if that Red Hulk thing was there.
My comic book collecting and whatnot, everything was way before that. That whole part of my life that ended before Red Hulk ever came out.
Yeah, Red Hulk came around like in the mid 2010s, like around like when the Dark Reign, the Secret Invasion sort of happened, because like Norman Osborn became like the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that was where like the Thunderbolts became like a thing around that time. So yeah, I'm just curious what they're gonna do with that character. Like, I like the idea of the leader being the beneficiary for the Serpent Society, but I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed they're really getting rid of them. And then apparently in that article you saw that you just have there, which I have, they say they're gonna make a movie about the Serpent Society.
Maybe Sony's gonna make it.
I see that. I believe Sony will make that, but no way Marvel Studios. I don't know.
Sony would roll that right out.
Just like Morbius, Venom, Man Web. Oh god. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we're going to talk about Captain America 4 next Monday when we talk about what we have for the slate, right? That's official, because we really there's only certain films that are actually having a tenuously firm release date right now. There's only 4 or 5 movies that are locked in, right?
Oh, yeah. So everyone wants to have like a brief recap. So we got another reshuffle of the schedule again. So so far confirmed dates is February something 2025.
I have them all written down. Wait till Monday. I have them all written down.
Let me say it now to the folks. What's the 4 lock-ins? Because the other release dates we don't know. Like, we don't know when is Armor Wars going to come out. Like, I don't know they're going to come out next 2026.
No, it's to be announced.
Yeah, it's to be announced. And then what was the other?
Just like Spider-Man 4, to be announced.
Yeah, we'll see Spider-Man 4 if that even becomes a thing.
It's listed as to be announced because there is no set release date for it.
I know. I don't like.
As soon as Sony and Marvel Studios decide what the fuck they're going to do with the movie and decide to play nice, they'll make the movie.
Yeah,
it's that simple. The only thing holding up the movie being made is that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so like Captain America, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four and Blade have their like new release dates that's been confirmed.
Yeah, so, Marvel's trying to take their time.
Yeah,
they're in no rush.
Yeah,
they don't want 4 films. They don't want to do 4 films next year.
Yeah, as we discussed with Spider-Man.
Iger already said that he only wants 3 movies to come out tomorrow in 2025. They don't want to do 4.
Yeah, Blade is not coming out in 2025. It's coming out in 2026, which is good.
I guess.
Yeah, no. It has a
they started production in like 2020.
Yeah. I mean, every movie started early. Like, remember, like,
Blade's been in production for like 5 years.
Well, same thing with Captain America 4. It's been in production for like 2021. Didn't think about it. So. And same thing with Fantastic Four, like that.
But it made sense for there to be a break with that character.
Yeah, I know that, but like also like Fantastic Four was announced same time as Blade. That was supposed to come out in 2024 or something like that. If I remember correctly, or 2025.
The way time flies, before you know it, Deadpool 3 will be out. It'll be the end of the year, and Captain America 4 will be out.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be in February next year. So
yeah.
Yeah. This actually, we kind of passed it. I think last time it was like in the 14th, or whatever it was announced. So here, I just put up Blade. It's coming out next year, November 7th.
I have it all written down. We're going to cover it next Monday.
Yeah,
I have it all written down. I've got all of it. It's all laid out on my index cards. I've got the whole thing. I want to sit down and talk about it. Right.
Yeah.
That and whatever else pops up between now and then.
I mean,
on the radar, right? If anything
Yeah.
pops up DC wise, right, or anything or whatnot, any new casting or anything like that, or whatnot, or
I knew I forgot something. Yeah, because I don't want to talk it now, but like we'll discuss next week. I'll send you a link. We got our official look of the Superman logo from James Gunn.
yeah, that's right, we did.
Yeah, so that was something that was like actually a big thing next week. I forgot to mention we should talk about that.
That's right. No, but we'll talk about it on Monday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it Monday. That's fine. But yeah.
All right. Well, you know what, folks? We're gonna get the hell out of here then. If that's okay with you, Andres, the pop culture guy.
Hey,
I've got important alcohol, included, chasing tail things to do here at Rio Montego Bay. So for Andres, the pop culture guy, I'm Jeff S, aka True Knowledge, creator and host of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. This is the MCU'S Bleeding Edge report signing off. We love all of you. God bless you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Cause I'm about that. Cause I'm about that.